good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk Dima Crip Walk Music. So guys, I've been getting emails all day about 41-year-old beautiful actress Meagan Good. Now, Meagan Good, as you know, is one of the more popular black actresses in the black entertainment space. And recently, she was divorced from Devon Franklin. And oh, by the way, he filed for divorce from Meagan Good. And of course, Meagan Good has been allegedly tied to some other people. But now, here is a new person that she's tied to. Peyton Alex Smith. Who? Now, Peyton Alex Smith is in the hit series BMF. He plays the character Boom. He is 28 years old. But let's look at the age difference. 13 years. Now, Lala Anthony also allegedly is dating somebody much younger than her. We know about Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. We know about Erykah Badu and Jerron Atkinson. We even know about Keisha Cole and Nico Kale, who is 18 years her senior. Okay. Now, what is the trend here, guys? What is the real reason here? I take you guys back to my interview that I did with Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. What was the name of that interview? Can you guys remember? Well, I'll tell you what, guys. How about we do this? Let me play a clip of that interview to explain why older women like Meagan Good are preying on younger guys.
With husband sons, one of the things I began to notice is that you had well-to-do women who were employed, who were educated, so on and so forth, and who would use the rationale that there were no other options, and they would choose men that were intentionally in such a low position that those men could not offer much challenge. So in other words, they were in the dominant position in the relationship. These men depended on them for hearth and home, for income, for food, for everything. And if there was so much as an argument, those men would be out on the street. So it really came down as to be a control measure, really. But whether you're talking about, especially if you're dealing with women that, decide at a certain point that they want to have children, they want to be married, so on and so forth, and they just chose somebody that they knew they could control. And part of the reason I've argued for this is, the average woman can't look up and say, you know what, I'm ready to get married. Let me go get O'Shea. I can get O'Shea anytime I want. Let me go get him. Is that likely? Not really. I mean, if you're talking about, and I don't want to go back into the whole Kevin Samuels high value man, but the central idea is still pretty similar. If you want the ideal that we've been hearing about from black women since the 80s, that guy is not easy to get whenever you feel like getting. Kevin used to talk about picking a high value man off the high value tree. There is that perspective out there with a lot of women. But the problem is those men are not easy to control. You can't make them do what you want them to do when you want them to do it. So many choose men who are in a position where they can't really debate. They can't, they're vulnerable.
So guys, you've heard what was said. That interview comes from successful black women are marrying broke black men on purpose. And in that particular clip, we can see some similarities from this situation here. Now, Meagan Good has come out and said that she wants a child after being divorced. That was just a year ago. Okay. Less than actually 2-3 months ago. Now, if you look at this guy, he's also an up and coming actress, but he's not to the level of Meagan Good. He's up and coming. He's young. He's inexperienced. That all entails that he's a young man that can be controlled. It's all about control. Simply because Meagan Good at 41 can no longer reach her counterparts. Who are her counterparts? Let's say guys like Jay-Z, guys like Jamie Foxx, guys like, I don't know, even Scottie Pippen, who's dating a 25-year-old. See, Meagan Good has already outlived her opportunities with the real guys in Hollywood that have money. Just like Brittany Renner had a chance with PJ Washington. See, they're all going younger. And the reason why they're going younger is because guys that have a lot of money have already been either taken or spoken for or don't want to put up with their shit. So it puts them into a situation where the best thing they can do is get a younger guy who makes less than them so that they can be controlled. And I'm talking about the man. Now, let me just talk about how this happens, right? For a lot of ladies, the goals shift, the goalposts shift. I've talked about that on my channel, sisterhood female goalpost shifting. This is a technique in which, in one hand, sisters look down on it, and on the same hand, they praise it. Now, let's say, for example, here, when Meagan Good was 25, would she date a guy younger than her with no money? No, because he ain't bringing nothing to the table, right? Exactly. In her prime, she would not date a guy, no matter how good he looked, publicly, if he didn't bring a lot to the table. But at 41, dating a 28-year-old man, we can dress it up and say, Meagan got her groove back, right? Just like Stella got her groove back. Remember that movie that Angela, I forgot what her name, Bassett was in? Yeah, it was a story about an older woman who got with a younger man, getting her groove back, only to find out the guy ended up being gay and left her anyway. That's the situation. Whenever somebody's getting their groove back, it's putting them back on the market with a younger, broker guy who can be controlled. But what we're really not saying is that, you know, in your prime, you wouldn't accept that. But now, towards your decline, or what you would call in the manosphere, we call this technique the wall. It's okay now to date a guy who doesn't have as much to offer because it fits the narrative. Meagan Good can't even get a guy, I don't think, on the same level as Devon Franklin. The reason is because guys that have a lot are not interested. Most women at 41, let me just say this, whatever habits that they have picked up, they're not malleable anymore for most guys. I'm not saying that people can't change. What I'm saying is that their attitude towards relationships, towards marriage, it's already etched in stone. They're not flexible on those ideas. All right. But if they can get a younger man who's flexible to their ideas, it is favorable. And of course, younger guys, it looks good to say, you know, I'm dating a chick that's hot. She's 41. She's Meagan Good. But you're going to find out that if you don't have enough money as she does, you're going to get abused. You get talked down to. You see, you don't get to have your manhood, because if you're an alpha and you can respond to that, you won't put up with it. But a lot of these ladies like Erykah Badu dealing with the 27-year-old guy who's 27, she's 50, he don't have nowhere to go. Now, I'm not saying that this guy don't have nowhere to go, because obviously he does. He just has less opportunities than somebody else who is like 50 Cent, for an example. You see, he has to put up with more stuff than a Jay-Z would have to put up with. And see, Meagan Good will know she can't go that route because automatically it's going to get shut down. She, that feminist and those kind of, you know, talking back beta male moves that work with Devon Franklin won't work with a true alpha. So they go and get a guy who looks good and is a sexual alpha so they can still control him. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment pinned to the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.